Awaken Cohort.
And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Around Plus Plus, I'm Fleet Admiral Derek of the Battlecruiser GCS Dracora as we continue our campaign against the Klingon Star Empire. And we have been conducting massive warfare against the Tile of 5-9, which is Kronos. So let's just continue to assault that so that we can prevent them from pushing anything back. And we can just sort of talk and chat as we're actually on the mission. After all, doing anything in between on the menu, the clock actually is still running. And that's a very important thing to keep in mind if you just want to, leave the game for, say, an hour or two, like I've done in the past. Yeah, there were times when early on in the seasons where I would just sort of leave the game and walk away, go get myself a drink, stuff like that, before coming back to it to record another episode, and the clock always was still running. It took me a little while to actually figure that out. But yeah, now that we know that, that's something we can very much avoid. Anyway, we are being escorted today by HMS Hood, which appears to be a standard cruiser, and a Paladin-class dreadnought, HMS Gallant. So squaring up against us is a single dreadnought. I believe I read that was a C7, a C9, the Blue Fire. We have the Azula herself coming up against us, and the planet is a completely undefended PL7. So that ought to be nice and easy. We'll launch the probe. We found another buddy. The other buddy is a C8V, so we are dealing with a carrier, which is a bit of a problem for us, but we're going to focus on him first. Once we can knock out the larger size dreadnought, we can hopefully deal with everything else as it comes. So we'll reinforce the forward shield to the maximum, as well as prepare our tractor beam. And now that the tractor beam is charging, we'll be able to basically run up to him, hold on to him, strip away all of his shields, break most of his systems, pass by, and then our Gatling phasers should do the job of utterly annihilating him from the face of the universe. At least that's my plan. Can't guarantee anything, although with all that supporting fire that he just took from other places, I believe the Azula's days are numbered. Can you please not run away from me so heavily? You know what? We'll call for you then. Okay? We'll eliminate the fighters completely, because they are dangerous. So plasma torpedoes are selected and ready to go. Grabbed onto you. Phasers are on overload. And let him go, please. We have basically annihilated this guy. And I believe the Gatling phasers should finish him off. Gatlings! I was wrong. Oh, I had so much faith and hope that we would be able to take this guy out without even so much as flinching. Can you kill that fighter? No, not really. So we've got this guy mostly crippled. He doesn't even have a shuttle bay anymore, which means he can't launch any more fighters. And in a straight gun battle, I do believe that the Gallant and the... what was the other one? The Hood can take on that dreadnought with no problem at all. However, the fighters will become an issue for them. So that is a problem, and I will deal with it by destroying their fighter carrier. It's a good plan. There we go. Destroyed. No more fighters to deal with. And now it is just the Blue Fire, the Azula, running away from a pair of massive Hydran vessels, one a dreadnought, one a heavy cruiser. And we are also charging, preparing to do our special weapons. We're on an intercept course, but we're presenting a protected front, which makes a little bit more sense than to just drive right at him. And he is turning in towards us, so I suppose we could start turning in a little bit more. Get slightly closer, although I don't think fighters are going to have much luck unless they just do a mass assault. You know, I really do think that the Hydrants would benefit a little bit from using some more missiles, because missiles soak up fire that can't otherwise be then aimed at other things. So if you just flood somebody with a whole ton of missiles, what you can actually do is take away their ability to shoot down fighters at all, which is very, very powerful. Highly recommend it. It's one of the reasons why Mirak fighters are actually really good, because you can seed your fighter assaults with just a whole bunch of missiles out of it, and that can just lead towards absolute victory. Okay, we're gonna go for the rapid maneuver, although I can probably shove a plasma torpedo over my shoulder. Oh, and timed perfectly to fire the plasma torpedo, whip around and fire the plasma torpedo, because that's how we do this. Alright, we took him down. Alright, we have a planet to destroy, and the planet is completely undefended, so slow down a little bit more. Actually, no, we're charging too many things, so let's bump it on this side. Maximum speed of time. Get around the mine. There's no reason to actually hurt ourselves on it. The planet is undefended. It is a PL7. The defended planets are PLPH, which, you know, if it's not one of those, it's a cakewalk, especially once you have heavy plasma torpedoes. Even the Federation can knock down a PL7 in the early era. Although if the Federation in the early era fighting a PL7 or a PLPH, you better done bring, say, a heavy cruiser. At the very least. Well, maybe a destroyer could do it. And the reason why a destroyer could do it is because the Federation destroyer has the exact same armament as the Federation heavy cruiser, with like half the power. It's a bit of a joke. The ship can't really move and do things at the same time, but it's a fairly cool ship. I am a fan of the destroyer. I think the destroyer is a terrible design. My favorite version of the destroyer is the guided weapons destroyer, because the guided weapons destroyer rips out 2 of the photon torpedoes and throws in a missile launcher, which basically increases your potential firepower while at the same time resolving your power problems. Alright, so we've given them a quote-unquote light damage. We're just going to park in orbit, basically. We've already managed to completely wipe out any sort of chance that they had to actually defend the planet. So, how many Marines do they got left? Oh, they're already down to 2. Send in the Marines. Let's have this taken in just a couple of minutes. So once the Marines finish destroying the entirety of the garrison, and wow, you guys are getting much closer to the planet than I've otherwise ever seen you. They got within a range of 4 of the planet. The AI really does not normally do that. I am truly shocked, actually, that they're getting so close. That's more than a little amusing to me. Yeah, they seem to be getting really close. Please don't hit the planet. Like, they are getting within inches. That's fascinating. In any event, though, the planet has been conquered. It is now under our control. Unfortunately, the actual tile itself is not, but we're working on that. Once we get that under control, things will really take off. All right, 670 prestige is our reward. Pop down over here. Take the mission. It's straight up patrol. Another big gunfight. As you can see, we have some damage on. Most of that is just, well, fried systems that get repaired in between battles. But more importantly, we're a little bit light on armor. So we otherwise would prefer not to take too much damage. Maximize the speed of time. Prepare the forward shield for full defense. As well as we're doing speed of 2, so I can go there and there. And now I'm at maximum power usage. Oh, nope, now we have our phaser capacitor fully charged, which gives us just a ton of power. To give you an idea of how much power it is, a phaser X requires 2 points of power in order to charge in the phaser capacitor, because when fired in overload mode, it takes 2 points of power, as opposed to a phaser 1 or a phaser X fired in normal mode, which only needs 1 point of power. So that's 20, plus the 2 phaser Gs, each one is another point. So 22 points of power are required for this ship. And 22 points of power get freed up the moment we decide that we are no longer interested in charging that phaser capacitor. Oh crap, that's gonna be a mistake. All stop, all stop. You know what? Crash stop. And get that charge. Charge it, charge it, charge it! Point blank range. Oh, we hurt ourselves with that one. We hurt ourselves a lot with that one. Jeez. That's levels of pain. So, yeah, I forgot to charge the tractor beam. And that's what happens when you get a little bit too close with the amount of plasma that we have. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. So if you want to really, really harm somebody, get right on top of them. Coil is neutral. Pop back over here. So much damage. We should be able to fix it before we actually need to do anything with it. Pop over here through the impedance. Mission. Homeworld assault. Of course, that's what we do. It's our job. So we do at some point want to stop home. I'd prefer to stop home only after we have taken Kronos. So prepare for combat and all systems to overload. We're also going to come over here and fix the power. Fix the tractor beam, because the tractor beam is super important for our ship. I'm just going to sit still. We are being escorted today by the GCS Chromaticon and the GCS Shima. Shima, it seems a little bit weird, but Chromaticon is one of the Icon cruisers, and so it is instantly one of my favorite ships. We're fighting a PL-12 and a C-7X, so this is a heavy cruiser of the Klingon description. I'm going to sit here. I ain't moving anywhere, sir. We're just going to wait until we get our power back. We're going to wait until we get at least our tractor beam back. Don't really need anything else. What are you? You are a heavy cruiser. Are you a D5 in disguise? Fleet screen says C7V. Ooh, battle cruiser carrier. You're actually more dangerous. I'm going to kill you. You are actually significantly more dangerous. So tractor beam is back online. Lovely. So we fixed it now. And we'll start our strength 1 beam, and we'll also increase the speed of the ship to the maximum. We also need to get a little bit of power defending ourselves. Look at how fast this is what I want. Just that. It's all I require and all I need. I need to remove his fighters from the equation ASAP, because if they get involved, they're going to hurt people quite badly. And my tractor beam is being charged. Yes, it is. Lovely. We didn't forget it this time. Also, I might be able to save. Oh, no, you fool. Oh, crap. Hi! I guess the full stop wasn't required. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get too close. Alright, so the fighter carrier's been dealt with. How are you guys doing with the ship itself? Oh, looks like you've got him mostly dead to rights. Lovely. Pick up the speed and turn around. Bring this bucket about. Actually, no. Stay kind of slow. And he's just... Yep. Pseudo-frigates, man. They are terrifying. The plasma pseudo-frigates, specifically. Unfortunately, the Lyran pseudo-frigates, I don't consider to be particularly good. Yeah, they get ESGs, which every several turns you get an additional 20 damage. But I really kind of feel like you get more out of the plasma torpedo ones because you can swarm somebody with them. You get potentially 4 plasma torpedoes on one of those pseudo-frigates. The Romulans actually have one that has 5 plasma torpedoes, although they don't act in-game the way they're supposed to act as they do on tabletop, because in-game they can just continually recharge those plasma torpedoes, where in tabletop, those are single charge shots. They get 5 plasma F shots, and then once they shoot them, they're out. Whereas the more advanced ones with only 4 can actually recharge and rearm their weapons. So a little bit of a fun trivia there. So we're going to walk up to this planet and just nuke it. I mean, there's really no better way to describe what we're about to do to this. A just tidal wave of plasma is about to come their way, and I don't even think they quite realize what's about to happen. They have some defenses, but yeah, things are about to get ugly. Very, very ugly. We're going to just get nice and close, get within a range of 10, so that all of our plasma torpedoes can do maximum damage. In maximum mode. There we go. How many Marines you got left? How's my distance is perfect. Actually, I can get a little bit closer. 3 Marines, phasers. 2 Marines. Send in the Marines. Wait, who set up a hit and run target? I know, I sure as heck didn't. Alright, we've got this. Our limitation is going to be Marines. We are down to 9 Marines. We transport 4 at a time, so 2 more planets, and then we're done. Then we have to go home. I mean, we could sort of work on this a little bit more explicitly to just reduce, to just send over 3 Marines instead of just clicking the All Marines button. But that would require a level of work that I don't really think is all that required. I mean, it would save us a bit of a trip back, but eventually we do want to go home to repair the ship. It is quite holy at this point. And when we had to start this battle with a broken tractor beam and shuttle by 670 prestige. Bob back over here. Hi, I'd like to take this before it can leave my control, unlike last time. Although, did we get it last time? I don't quite remember. Invasion. Defense condition 1. Overload all the weapon systems. What do we got? Got a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser. Lovely. The heavy cruiser appears to be an E3. It's an E7 DXM. So, of the E7s, it's probably the best. But it's an E7, and the E7 series is just trash. And then we've got an MR, which I don't know what that is, but it appears to be a light cruiser of the pirate description, and I'm not particularly interested in it. We also are being escorted today by HMS Tenacity. Tenacity, of course, has 2 Hellbores, and then 3 Phaser X's, and a pair of Gatlings, which, in a close-range brawl, he's actually going to be quite dangerous. Oh, there's also an E3. How adorable. Okay, so the E7 is, unfortunately, the primary target. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like that because, you know, E7, but I probably should focus on it. Besides, it's only an E3. If it was an F5, I would seriously consider going after the F5 first. Because E3s are pretty terrible as heavy cruisers. They're one of those ships that you sit there and you wonder, like, what quite were you thinking, sir? When they actually decided that this was the design that they were going to go ahead with. Let's sap that shield budget, get things underway, and increase the speed of time. We're basically going to ignore all of them. We are laser focused on our target. I really wish there was an actual good version of the ship, because it's actually a fairly interesting ship design. But it will have to be replaced like all the other Klingon designs. Well, not quite all, but most. A lot of Klingon designs are not in a condition that we want. The Klingons are going to be rough, and the Federation are going to be rough, and the Romulans, I'm talking about the TNG mod at this point. The Romulans, not super hard. There are a ton, an absolute metric ton of Romulan ships that are available. I don't know where they all came from, but especially once I started getting the Starfleet Command 3 mods, which Starfleet Command 2 can poach models from, like, the number of Romulans is ridiculous. I have the entire Romulan armada. I can build it without any real concerns, so I don't really have any worries about being able to fill out the entirety of the Romulan fleet. Klingons, a little bit more worried. Not super worried, but a little bit. Yeah, I have some small concerns. Hey, you're within range. And you've just given me a free and easy shot into that. So there goes a mine, and I'm traveling too slowly for your mines, sir. And I have a D-type plasma torpedo, which means your missiles do basically nothing. It's the Annihilation. What an aggressive and hopeful name for such a small ship. On to the MR. The MR is pretty terrible. Not really. It's not horrific. It's just not good. Look at the speed. It's a pirate ship, which, what can you expect from a pirate ship? Plasma torpedoes, fire pseudos. Hey, buddy, what you gonna do about all that? That's what I thought. Oh, don't go that slow. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the pin. Beautiful. A perfect combination. We took basically no damage, and the enemy has been defeated. Then again, the enemy opposition was pretty terrible. An E7, really? I gotta look into, like, the point of the E7 cruisers, because they just seem to be so gosh darn terrible. 308 prestige is, of course, a reward. Tile is taken. Lovely. Pop back here. We have 4 of 6 tiles, and now we're going to work on the homeworld assault. Yet again, continue to bombard the home of the Klingons. The planet of Kronos shall be ours. They shall not stop us. Defense condition 1. Overload all the systems, please. And then let's actually get this thing ready to combat, because I don't want to take extra damage if I don't have to. Because that would be helpful. I don't really need that, but I do need this. Lovely. We're being escorted today by GCS Chromaticon once again, as well as the GCS Eradicator. It's not quite an Icon cruiser. We're running up against a PL0 and a heavy cruiser of some description. An XCA. Really? Your Icon does not say that. The wireframe, anyway, does not look like an XCA, but clearly you are, so we will have to give you the respect that you are most certainly due. XCAs are really good ships. Send the probe, just so we can get a full understanding of what's going on. There is also a light cruiser. It is an HF-5XE, so it's an escort, but it is an Alphabet Soup Destroyer, and Alphabet Soup Destroyers are fairly good. They're heavy war destroyers, and heavy war destroyers are fairly good. Pick up the speed quite significantly. We just need to sort of get on top of them. Well, maybe. I was about to say I don't think that I can kill him in one pass, but it's possible. He is, after all, only a heavy cruiser at the end of the day. So we have a rather prodigious amount of firepower. Slow down and start to slow down the ship. Let's make things all nice and ready. I have a gift for you, sir. I hope that you will take it in the spirit with which it was intended. The forward shield tanking it like a champ. Managed to take most of his fire. Get me in close. Get me in close enough. And fire! So we're doing all that onto him. There go your shields. There goes most of you. And that was not great. I meant to let him go. I didn't have time. See if we can't turn enough in order to get our Gatlings on. Because I'd like to be able to just rip into him with Gatling phasers. Hey, what do you know? It worked. Come over, repair the engines, fix that. And give me a target on the last one. Not him. Him. I don't care about the fighter. The fighter is ignorable. I have a D-type plasma torpedo, and I know how to use it. Basically, you sit there and you let the D-type plasma torpedo do all the work for you. Did that hit our hull? Are you being seriously that annoying? Fire. Fire at the back. Give him a little bit of love. Repair the engine. I just wanted to sit back and wait for my plasma torpedoes to recharge, but hey, somebody decided they wanted to get involved in a brawl. That's kind of okay. I'm sort of equipped for it, but still. The Cedar frigates might have the ability to take care of it. Although they're not hitting for much at the moment. Gatling phaser, get involved. Thank you. These, if they're real, could probably kill them off. Beautiful. Alright, PL0. Send the probe. Let's find out exactly what it is we're getting involved in. We're going to increase the speed of time, just so we can get over and bombard the crap out of it. Alright, we are dealing with no defenses at all. There is a planet out there that is absurdly powerful, has ridiculous defenses, and it can take a very long time to actually kill. So that's why I send it against PL0s and PL10s and that sort of thing, because I'm trying to remember which planet it is, like what emphasizes that this is the death planet that you simply will have incredible amounts of trouble defeating. So we are fully prepared, though. We will knock him completely down in one salvo. Oh, 2, maybe. One salvo if you include the phasers. Because this ship is very much designed to ruin somebody's day. And so that's exactly what I plan to do. Your day, sir, is about to be ruined in many, many ways. Slow down, slow down. We don't want to go in too close. Well, too fast, too close, because that'll get us killed. And we'll fall up. Sure, why not? Maximize the damage. 485 primarily. Start to slow down a little bit and send in the Marines. Yes, indeed, send in the Marines. Alrighty, so the Marines are on board of the planet. They will work to finish things off. And seriously, I am not used to them getting that close to the planet. Like, I didn't change anything, so I'm not quite sure why they're doing it. I'm not complaining. The fact that they get that close means that they actually can use their weapons efficiently. So that is very cool. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so we have conquered the planet once again. The planet of Kronos has fallen once more into our mighty grasp. We shall not be denied by the enemy. Hopefully. Potentially. Things can always happen. So, 270 prestige, plus the additional 400 for killing absolutely everything. So, a job well done. The enemy homeworld has been subdued. That is a terrible, terrible lie, and it's not true at all. The Empire defense is down to 41 as we're working on continuing our encirclement. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe before I receive notifications every time I list one of these videos. Press that little bell icon, leave a comment as to what you think about the episode, and I will see you all in the next episode.